Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about the 10 things that the right woman will admire about men, but that oftentimes the wrong woman will not. This is a countdown today, with the last few being some of the biggest items that women admire, especially me. Let's get started because the list is long, starting with number 10, a man's voice. I know this is a simple one, guys, but hey, we oftentimes admire what we do not have ourselves. It's just something about that lower, easy to listen to voice that is so attractive. And it's not that women want this for themselves unless they're trying to take a position of power. We've heard those stories of women like purposely lowering their voice in order to seem more authoritative. I think that's rare though, which is why this is listed as number 10. So let's move on. Number 9, a man's lack of caring about the level of product or clothing that they put on their body. I'm talking about all the bells and whistles, all the creams, all the fancy stuff, right? All the fluff. Like, men most times will just be okay with some very simple products that they always use, some sort of lotion, some sort of cleanser. They don't put 20 things on their face at once. They don't style their clothes for hours. They don't shop for hours for their clothing. Now, of course, there's some level of care when it comes to grooming and having clean clothes, but I think that a lot of women admire how men have other things that they enjoy. They don't necessarily have to put so much energy or effort into this type of category. Number 8, I have to say it's a man's physical strength. Now, this, crazy enough, has been debated across the board by like extreme feminists, where they will claim that they can do just as much as men do, even when it comes to physical strength, physical effort, which blows my mind. Like, we know what the science says. That's not the truth, right? Like, men are more physically strong. The right type of woman will just appreciate that. They don't feel like that's a threat to themselves, because she knows, as most men know, you want to be different. You want to have those differences because you support each other's strengths that way. Just imagine, guys, imagine being with a woman that is actually upset or constantly trying to fight the fact that you are stronger than her. And so she's trying to like compete with you or even the playing field. A man does not want to compete with his partner. He wants to be partners with her. Number 7, the right kind of woman will admire a man's awareness. He's always noticing the periphery, scanning for danger. He's on the roadside of the sidewalk. He's walking slightly behind you. He's sitting in the chair that's facing the door in the restaurant. He's paying attention to where you park. He's noticing where this guy is, where that guy is, who looks sketchy, who has their hands in their pockets, like when you're out shopping. I know for myself, I literally have tunnel vision when I'm with my man. So guys, if your lady experiences that, that is a very good thing. That's a sign that she feels very safe with you and you're doing those things. And the right women that feel safe, they will absolutely appreciate this and admire you for it. Number 6, a man's ability to romance. Every single man has this ability in him if it's brought out by the right type of woman. And pretty much what that is a woman that likes him and loves him for who he is as a person and not for what he can provide. If he feels that way, it will absolutely fuel the flame of romance. It's what he gives to you to make you feel the same way as you're making him feel. It's all about reciprocity. And let's face it, men are good at it. They know what they're doing. Number 5, a man's work ethic. Men are just more capable and they're more willing because of how society has worked, that they are the ones that tend to work outside the home for longer hours, harder hours. It's a harder work typically. They do more of the physical work. So it takes a very strong work ethic to be able to do that day in and day out. Now, where you can tell the right kind of woman from the wrong kind of woman when it comes to this is that the wrong kind of woman will look at work ethic of a man and say, well, sure, he's going and working 40 hours, oh, maybe even 60 hours a week, but I'm at home raising the kids. My job is harder. What that kind of thinking does is it's taking tally. It's competing. It's comparing. It's not healthy. You can't form appreciation for one of your partners when all you're thinking about is, oh, well, they do that, but this is what I do. So if a woman in your life is not appreciating your work ethic, it is a bad sign. They are not the right type of woman that will actually help support and push you towards more success. Number 4, what the right kind of woman will appreciate is a man's ability to soften and become childlike when he's around children. I love seeing this in any form. I mean, we can talk about just at a barbecue, like the guy even that I hardly know, and he's been like stone faced and not very talkative, and then you see him out there playing with the kids and laughing and goofing off. It's just a wonderful thing to see. I think that a lot of men are good at not taking themselves too seriously, and they don't shy away from running around and straining their back or twisting an ankle because it's worth it. Number 3, the right kind of woman will admire a man's ability to help you problem solve. And I know for a lot of women, this is a tricky topic because some of them really just want you to listen in the moment. But I will say that at some point, like after you listen, if you're helping her problem solve, the right kind of woman will actually really appreciate that. I think that men are just so good at problem solving because they can really step back and not take in the emotions, and they're just looking at the situation logically, and they can give different options. A woman that doesn't want you to be all wrapped up into the emotions of the situation, she will just admire the fact that you can step back away from it and think logically and give her solutions. Number 2, I love this one about men. I see this pretty consistently through my life. The right type of woman will admire a man's genuine happiness when one of his guy friends succeeds, does well in life, or just gets something that he knows that his buddy has wanted for a long time. There's just this certain level of lack of jealousy or envy that I think unfortunately a lot of women have within themselves. When you can see this in a man demonstrated, it's just something really that I admire, and I think a lot of the right types of women will admire. Number 1, this is a biggie, guys. This is the biggest one that I myself admire about men, and that I think a lot of women would agree. It is the I will figure it out attitude that men carry. This kind of goes along with the ability to problem solve and think logically outside of emotions. It doesn't matter from small to big. Men will figure it out because they know that they are the last line of defense. They are figuring it out for their wives. They're figuring it out for their children. All down the line, they're the ones that back it up. So essentially, if he's not the one figuring it out, no one else is. They also carry this line of thought because they don't want to put more stress on anyone else. All in all, this type of attitude is very much selfless, and that's what I admire about it. That's also what the right woman will admire about it. But with that being said, the right kind of woman will also help support you. She will become your partner. She will try to become that last line of defense with you. And that is key, guys. You should absolutely feel that way. You should feel like you can be vulnerable with the right kind of woman. She has to be the type of woman that does not utilize things like your vulnerabilities against you later on, and she will respect you. So that is it, guys. Let me know in the comments, as always, if you agree or disagree. Also, let me know any that I may have missed today. Have an awesome week, guys, and Merry Christmas. I'll see you next week.